Hey Ankit, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gopal.
Ankit, I just wanted to ask you one thing. I was watching your video earlier, like in that you had explained that if you are applying uh, uh, during joining, you applying any condition on the right table, it will be like applying inner join. Something like this you have explained in one of the video, like in YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So can you please elaborate little more on this? Because just confusing for me. What exactly why it is like an inner join? If you are
Okay,
applying,
we can discuss that during next doubt session. It will be next week. Okay, we will discuss that.
yeah, oh, oh,
Ankit, good morning.
Hey, Samir. Good morning. Yeah, I think we can get started. So we are not going to discuss today any the yesterday's assignment. I'll give you more time during the weekend. You can try that more, and we can discuss later. We will start with the subqueries today. Okay, and so today we are going to start some, advanced concept. We will talk about subquery, maybe if we get some time CT. And after this session, I think in one more session, we have everything to solve all the questions, right? So this is the time you should, gear up and start solving more and more questions. I'll be giving you more questions. So make sure you practice enough. If you practice next 2, 3 weeks, properly all the interview questions and SQL problems, if you practice, we are good. So next 2, 3 weeks are very, very important. Make sure you spend some time and practice enough SQLs. Okay. So let's start today's session. Let me share my screen. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, let's query our orders table once more. Okay. So now what is subquery? I will just explain you with an example. Okay. Why we need subquery. Okay. So let's say you have this orders table and you want to find average order value. How would you find average order value? Can someone tell me?
we can use max and then group by
Average sales per orders.
Average sales supporters.
average.
Average, right? Why max?
sorry, Matt. Sorry, average. I guess. Stick it.
So we can do average, right? Average of sales. That's what everyone is saying, right? It means on an average, one order is for 230 rupees, right? That's what it means. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. But I think there is a problem in that. I'll tell you what. Let me open one Excel. So order ID, product ID, sales. Order ID 1, product ID 100, sales is, let's say 200. 1 ID 200. Okay. Let's say I have this data and this data, and I'm taking the average of sales to find the average order value. What is the average here? Average is 600. You will say average order value is 600, right? That's what you will say as per what we have done. In SQL Server, that's what we have done, right? Just taking the average of sales, right? So what it is doing, it is just summing these three and divide by number of rows. So this is 1800 divided by 3. It is 600. But actually, if you see, it is wrong, right? What is average order value? Average order value. So for this order, what is the value? It is combined, right? There are two products in this order, right? So for this, for order ID 1, right? Let me put it again here. Order ID and sales. So for order ID 1, the total sales is how much? 1200, right? And for order ID 2, total sales is 600. So what is the average now? Average is 900. Now tell me what is the right answer. The average order value is 900 or 600 in this case?
900.
900, right? Average order value is 900 because this order has 2 items, isn't it?
Hmm.
Which means this answer is wrong. Our average order value is not 230 because we have seen that we have orders where we have more than one product, right?
Hmm.
Which means we need some intermediate results to reach here, right? Directly from here, I cannot reach 900. There is no way. I have to derive this first and then take the average. Isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, you need to take sum of sales by order ID divided by count of order ID by sales, something
Yeah.
like that.
So first I need to find by order ID what is the sales, and then I can take average. Right. Right. So there is a need of some intermediate results now. I cannot do everything on the whatever data is present. I need some intermediate results to hold and then do whatever I want to do on top of it. And that's where subqueries come into picture. That I want some intermediate result, some query I want to run on this, and whatever result of this, I want to hold that and run query on top of that again. So basically, I will run a query on this, get this, and this result I can again I will hold and run query on that to get 900, right? So let's see that in action and then it will be more clear. But you got the problem, right? Why we need this intermediate results, right? Because I need to aggregate first and then take the average. Okay, so let's aggregate first. So what I want order ID and sum of sales, right? As order sale. From orders, group by order ID. Okay, so this is what result? This is this result, right? This is what? This is this result. Is this clear so far?
Yes.
Whatever I'm showing you, this result is similar to this result. Now what I need now I can put average of this column, right? So what it will do number of rows, it will sum it up, divide by 2, right? Because there are 2 rows only. So for each order, there will be only 1 row now. There cannot be 2 rows, right? Because I'm aggregating by order ID. So now what I can do, I can consider this as a table, a virtual table again. Just put it into brackets and alias it, right? So now this is a kind of a intermediate table. I can run query on top of this. The name of this table is this. This is I'm giving an alias. I can say as A or just A, and I can give any name, right? Orders aggregated. Any name I can give, alias name, right? So this has become an intermediate table now. What is this table? This table is the result of this query. So whatever this query is giving you the data, the output, that becomes a virtual table. Now I can run normal query on top of this. I will say select average of sales, right, from this table, right? Okay, so now in this table, what are the columns? Order ID and order sales, right? So I need to do order sales. In this inner table, sales is not there. That's why it is giving error, invalid column name, because this is my new table now, which I'm using, right? In this order sales is the column name. So I will say average of order sales from this, right? And this is the alias name I'm giving to my inner query, right? Now, if I run this now, should I get higher or lower than 230?
Higher.
Higher, right? Definitely higher. So my average order value is 458. See how much is the difference? I hope this is clear, right? Okay.
Yes.
So this is my average order value. Now let's go ahead little bit more. Now what I want is next, this is my first query. Let me write it. Find average order value. Okay. Now what I want is, I want to find all the orders, okay, whose sales is greater than average order value. What I'm saying is, so we have these 2 orders, and this is what? This is the average order value, right? What I'm saying, I want to find all the orders whose total sales is greater than average order value, which means in this case, the output will be 1 order ID 1, right? So this order has higher sales than average order value. Is question clear?
Yes.
I want to
Yes,
find. Okay, good. So now we have already found average order value, right? Let's give it average order value, right? So we already have that. Let's use it again. Find orders with sales more than average order value, right? So now this is my average order value, and what I can do, I can again put it in a subquery, right? So there is no limit. You can make queries within queries, right? So this is my average order sales, right? And this is orders. This is my average order sales, right? And I'm putting this in a subquery again, and I will use it. I'll tell you how. Select order underscore ID from orders group by order ID. Okay. Now what I want having sum of sales. What I want, sum of sales is greater than average order value, right? So sum of sales is this one for each order. That's what we have done here also, right? To get the sum of sales for each order, right? That I have to do again. So now I'm putting a filter here, right? I'm saying sum of sales should be greater than average order value. Having sum of sales greater than average order value. This is my average order value, right? Let's run this. I will explain this query again. Why it is taking so long? Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is this subquery we can use anywhere. There's no limitation. You can use in having clause as well. We will see this action in where clause as well, right? We can use it as a query within query, right? So if you see, we have got all the orders. There are 1379 orders out of 9994 orders whose sales is more than average order value. Let's verify one. Let's take this order ID. So we know our average order value is 458. Let's see how much is the average order value of this order ID. Okay. Start from orders where order underscore ID equal to this one, right? Let's take the sales. So if you see, sales is around almost 700, which is more than 458, which means our answer is correct, right? Right? Let me explain the query again. What I have done, first I have found the average order value. This we have done in the previous query, right? Now, what I'm doing, I'm using this query, whatever we did earlier, right? This again, I created a subquery, right? So this is a query over query, and this I'm using in the having condition. So I'm saying sum of sales because I have to filter all the orders where sum of sales is greater than average order sales, right? And average order sales I have derived using this subquery. Is this clear? How we are using subquery here?
Yes, Ankit, in the second subquery, the bigger one, you didn't give alias. Is it not required?
Yeah, because I'm using as a condition. So when I'm using in a from, then I have to give alias actually. If I'm using in a from, then it is mandatory to give alias. Okay, if I'm using in a condition, I don't have to give. Because why I have to give alias is, I need to select columns from this, right? In the outer query, but it is just a result I'm using. Sum of sales greater than this. Even if I give, I don't think, no, it will give error. No. Okay, so you have to give only when, yeah.
One more thing, just
So here, if you see, I'm again using from here, from this, right? So here I have given alias. But now this overall, I'm not using in a from. It is just a condition to check having sum of sales greater than average order sales. So I don't have to give alias here. Yeah, someone was saying something. Go ahead.
yeah, we are using having because before that we are using group by, correct?
Right. Because we have to filter on an aggregated value, right?
Yes.
That's why I'm doing having. Because I'm saying the sum of sales of order ID, because one order ID can have multiple rows. So I'm saying sum of sales should be greater than this. So because I have to filter on the aggregated value, I need to use having. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's see some more example. Okay.
Ankit, can you explain the problem statement again? Why we have used the subquery on initially, like you were explaining that I've run in between. Sorry.
Okay, so the problem was how to find the average order value, right?
Right.
So there are two orders, let's say order ID 1. In order ID 1, we have two products, right?
Okay.
And order ID 2 has only one product. So if I take average simply of these three rows, the average order value comes out to be 600, right?
Okay.
1800 divided by 3.
Yeah.
But actually that is not true. The order ID 1 total sales is 1200, right? And for this one it is 600. So
Right.
the average order value should be 900, right?
Okay.
Which means I need this intermediate result somewhere. I cannot directly get this 900 number from here.
So you mean to say we can't do it because the order IDs are different, right? So we can't just take the average of two different order IDs. I mean, two different order
I mean,
IDs.
one order ID has more than one row, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So I need to get to this result first, so that for each order ID, I can get the sales, and then I can take average of this simply.
Okay.
That's why we needed the subquery. That first we find out the by order ID, what is the sum of sales, and then on top of that, I'm taking average of order sales.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
on aliases, just one question. Like
Yeah.
in the first subquery, we given alias as orders underscore aggregated.
Right.
In order to short this query, cut down this query, cannot we just use this alias instead of writing
Which alias? Where I can use?
orders aggregated? Can we use like in the from in the last fourth line as average order value from, and can't we just use orders aggregated alias instead of writing last three lines, the last subquery?
But orders aggregated is this only, right?
So
I'm-
we cannot use this alias instead of writing these. This
No, no, alias I can use, but this is the alias for this query itself, right? If I don't write this query, it doesn't mean anything, right? So this is the subquery. I'm giving the result of this subquery as orders aggregated. I'm aliasing at orders aggregated, the result of this subquery. And then on top of that, I'm finding average order sales from this table, orders aggregated.
Okay.
Is it still not clear?
It's clear. So these alias cannot be used instead of subquery. Right? We'll have
No,
to
you can
write-
use. So you can say orders aggregated dot order sales here, right? You can use here. So this is like when we write query on a table, direct table, we use table aliases, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, we can use here orders aggregated dot order sales, because this is part of this table. This table is what? The result of this. And in this, we have order sales column. Yeah. Okay, let's take some more example that how we can use subqueries. So from employee, let's look at it here. Okay, so we have these two tables and we have some of the departments. 300, 500. Let's remove 500 from here. The time being. Where? Okay, we have put referential integrity. That okay, that is a different table. Fine. Where department equal to 500. Okay, I think we created a table yesterday. Employees, I think. This is the one. I don't remember. Okay, that's fine. What we will do, we will insert in. So I want some department basically, which is not present in department table. So from department. So we have 500, 300. I will make 500 to 600 maybe, right? Okay. Update employee set department ID equal to where department ID equal to 500. Okay, we are good now. Okay, so now if you see, we have an employee whose department is not present in department table, right? If you remember, we solved this using left join earlier, right? We did a left join and putting a where condition, we got the Rakesh, right? That this department ID is not present in department table. There is another way of doing it using subquery, and I will show you how, right? So I'll just select staff from employee, where basically what I need is, I need all the employees whose department ID is not present in department table, right? So I will say where department ID not in, and then I can put a subquery here. So how I use not in generally, right? So we have used like this, not in, let's say I'm giving some name, HR, or department ID it is, right? So let's say 100, 200, 300, right? That's how we have used earlier, right? So it will give me all the employees whose department is not in 100, 200, 300. So we are getting 700, right? But I can even give a query here. Instead of hard code values, I can give a query, and the result of that query can be used instead of these multiple values. So if I get all the department ID from department table, right? Right, this is the list of all the department ID present in department table. Now, instead of passing this comma separated values, I can even pass a query. So what I will say, Control C. I will just pass this, right? So what will happen? It will take all the values from department table, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, right? And do department ID not in this, right? So this is how also we can use a subquery. This is also a subquery, because this is a query. The result of this query, select department ID from department, I'm using in another query, right? So when I say subquery, there will be one inner query, one outer query. So this will be considered as inner query, because the result of this we are holding somewhere in the memory, right? And then using it in the outer query. So when we talk about subquery, there is always one inner query and one outer query. For example, this is an inner query here, and this one is the outer query. The main query will always be, the final query will be the outer query, and the query within this is inner query, right? Again, within this we have one more inner query, right? So no need to get confused in inner query and outer query. The main thing is you should be able to use it in different places. For example, we used it in the having clause, right? We used it in a from. So we used it as a table and querying on top of this, right? We are using this now in where clause as well. So there is no limitation. You can use anywhere. Again, this is a condition only. As a condition we are using, so we don't have to give alias. It will just work. We got the department ID 700 employee. So if you compare these two queries, you will understand how subquery is working. Subquery is giving you all the department ID values, and then those department ID values will be used to check this condition that department ID from employee table should not be present in department ID of department table. Are we good so far?
Okay, like can we use the like joins and subquery together?
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Okay.
We can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show that just in a moment. But so far, are we clear how we are using subquery so far? Okay. Now, another important thing is when you are comparing, when you are using in a filter condition, right? So I'm saying department ID not in, then the number, there should be only one column because I am checking department ID not in this. If I take department name as well here, okay, it will fail because you are comparing department ID with two columns, right? How it will work? It wouldn't work. Only one expression can be specified in the select list when the subquery is not introduced with exist. Exist is a different thing, we will talk later. But what I'm saying is you have to pass only one column here because you want to compare just department ID. So it is just replicating this. So what it is doing, it is running that query and doing something like this internally and giving you the result. So if you give two columns, there will be a problem. So you have to give one column only. Similarly, when we use there as a where condition, I am just checking sum of sales. So you should have only one value here to compare with, right? You cannot have two columns, right? Another thing is here I'm saying not in, right? I'm saying not in. So you are able to pass a list of department IDs, right? So I said select department ID. And this query is returning multiple rows, right? Which means multiple values. That's why I'm able to use it with not in, right? Now, if I say department ID greater than, will this work?
Yes, sir.
It will work?
No.
No, it won't because there is no in.
There's no in. When I'm saying greater than, it is expecting only one value of department ID, right? If I say department ID greater than this, so normally just imagine that when you are saying normally without subquery, if you have to do it, you will say, give me all the employee whose department ID is greater than 100, right? It means you are giving just one value for greater than comparison. You cannot give list greater than 100, 200, right? This will be wrong. What I am saying, when I am doing greater than operation, it means I want one value. So I need to pass one value only in the subquery. So just for instance, I can say, give me department ID greater than minimum department ID. Just for example, I'm saying, so this query will now return only one row and then I can use it with greater than, right? This is returning one row. Now I can use it. See, it is giving me everything apart from 100. So what operator you are using depending on that, you have to write query accordingly. Because not in expects a list. So or in or not in expects a list. So you can pass just a list, right? It can have multiple rows, multiple values.
Instead of not in, if you can use a minus, then if there is no duplicate and null value in the table, instead of not in, if you can use a minus.
Minus, okay, but the problem is we don't have a same number of columns in employee table and department table. If I do just minus department ID, I won't get all the data, right?
Yeah, I got it.
You will just get department ID.
Yeah, minus will work on the same number of columns and
Yes, you can do select department ID from employee, right?
okay.
Select department ID from employee minus, or I think except here, select ID from department. This you can run, but what you will get? You will get just the department ID which are not present in department table, but you won't get the employee detail, right? You just got 700, but here we are getting the full employee detail,
Okay.
right? Okay. Now we have seen that we have used in where clause. In the from clause also we have seen subquery. We can even use in the select clause. So what I can say just select average salary from select average salary from employee, right? So this query will give me what? Average salary. So my average salary is 9,000, right? Now this value, if I want in my select, I can get it. Okay, so I can just run this on this also. You see, my average salary is 9,000, right? So it is just calculating this average salary, right? And putting it for the all the rows. So first this query is executed, the inner query. It will get the 9,000 and then it will just put it for all the rows, right? I'm saying select star comma and this is a subquery. So the result of this, it is getting in all the rows. Now tell me, if I do this, will the result change? I mean, number of rows will reduce, but the average salary will change or not if I do this? So now one employee will go away, right? This one. With this guy will not be there. So overall average salary will be reduced, right?
Yes.
Right. So tell me, it will be 9,000 or not now if I run this full? Okay, let me show you what. Let me show you what will be the average salary. So our average salary is 9,000, right? Where department ID not equal to 7,000. That was the guy, right? 7,000. Now our average salary is how much? 9,000 only. Oh, he has
700.
salaries. Sorry?
Department ID, it's 700, right?
Okay, 700. My bad. Okay, so it is 9,200 now, right? Without this employee. Now, when I run this query, this employee will not be there, right? Because of this not in condition. But tell me that what will be the last column value? Will
It
it
should
be
be
9,000 or 9,200?
9,000 only.
9,000.
Right, because this will be executed first, right? And then on the main table, we are putting this filter. So it will be 9,000 only. See, 9,000 only. Right? I'm giving not in, so that guy is only coming, but still average salary is 9,000. Even if I do in, then also it doesn't matter. It will be 9,000 only. Right? Okay.
This 700 you have removed earlier, right? I mean, this one was the department ID, right? I mean, you
Right.
have removed that with the delete.
Right.
Okay, okay. Got it.
I'm not, it is not there in department table, basically, 700.
Yeah.
Okay. So far, what we have seen in select, we have seen in from, right? We have seen in where, we have also seen in having, right? What is pending is joins. Let's try to understand how we can use it in join. Okay. So let's take this again. Okay. We'll solve this question again. Question is, I need to find all the orders whose order value is greater than average order value, right? So one way of doing it is this, having sum of sales. Another way of doing it is, I take sum of sales here, right, as order sales, and we'll just remove it. We'll remove this condition. Okay, so this will give me for each order total sales, right? What I can do, I can make it as a subquery, let's say A, and I can create this another subquery which gives me average order sales, right? And I will make it as B. Okay, and now this query is always giving me what? Is always giving me one value. So if I run this, so this is 458. Now instead of doing having, what I can do, I can join these two data sets. So I will say inner join, right? So this is my first table, right? I'm doing an inner join on this table, right? So if you remember, how do we do inner join? We say from table A inner join table B, right? And give on condition. So table B in my case is this one, this whole subquery, right? Table A, right? Table A is this. So instead of these direct tables, now in both the tables, I'm using a subquery and result of that, isn't it? So wherever I can use table, I can use subquery, right? So this becomes my table A. Now it becomes easy to visualize now because I have written this query. Otherwise, the above statement will be confusing. So this is my A table, right? Which is just a result of one query. Again, this is my B table, which is again a result of this query, right? And I have to inner join them on. I will give on condition. Now in on condition, what I will give, I don't have a on condition as such. I mean, there is no common column. I just say 1 equal to 1 because there will always be one row from here, right? So I just want that one row. I'll show you how it works. But on top of it, I need to write from also, right? So table A inner join table B and on condition, right? This I have done this much, right? Now I need to give from also on top of it. So I will say from this table, and what I want, I can say I want select A dot star. I want everything from A, right? Comma B dot star, right? Earlier when we were doing, sorry, it is case sensitive. Okay, earlier when we were doing joining the tables, there also we were doing this only, right? If I want everything from A table, I will say A dot star, comma B dot star, right? This is how we were doing earlier when we do inner join. We can choose whatever columns we want, or we can do star also. Same thing I am doing here, exactly same. Just the difference is instead of direct tables, I have a subquery for table B. I have a subquery for table A. And then I'm joining them and selecting whatever I want. So if I do this, it will just return all the orders for now, right? So it returns order ID, order sales, and the average order value, right? Right? Now I can say where order sales is greater than what? Average order value, right? So it will give me all the records where the average order value, I mean, this is the average order value for each order is greater than overall, sorry, the sales of orders is greater than the average order value, right? So this is the sales for each order, right? Order sales, and this should be greater than average order value, which is 458. So if I run this, I will get the result, which we got using having clause. Right? We have 1379 those earlier as well. So if you see, order sales for all of these records is greater than 458. Right? All of them. You see how I'm using subqueries? Just try to understand that how we can use subquery. That's fine. If you think this query is too complex, that is fine. But what I'm saying, just try to understand how subqueries can be used anywhere. Wherever you are using a table, you can, instead of table, you can write a query and hold that result in a subquery and use that as a table, right? You have to understand that point.
Ankit, out of two, which one will give the better performance? Like here, this one with using inner join or with the having clause?
What do you think?
I think so having clause, because here we can see so many inner join. Sorry,
Right. So in this case, it will be definitely having clause because we have lesser number of subqueries. So subqueries are not so performant because database has to hold that result in a memory somewhere, right? They are not that performant, but many of the cases we don't have any option and we have to use subqueries, right? So that is fine. Using a subquery is not an option, but if you can avoid, then avoid. So in this query, we have lesser number of subqueries, so this will be faster. Okay. So if you see here, we have how many subqueries are there? One, right? And then within that, three subqueries we have, right? And there we had only two subqueries and one outer query, right? Let's take one more example, simpler example. Okay, so staff from employee.
Hello, Ankit.
Yeah,
I have one question here. So
yeah.
in this join conditions, right? So basically, how the query, the order of the query's execution, like it will be like the join condition, two queries will run parallelly, or then output will go to the outer query, or individual the query will run and perform the join, like how things will be.
Yeah, so this is what is the order of execution generally. So the first query will run in the from clause, right?
Okay.
Then inner join will happen. So whatever we have to do inner join with, that query will run, right?
Okay.
And then inner join will happen, and then the where condition.
Okay. Then it will pass on to the outer query.
Right. Okay, let's take one more example. Now my requirement is, along with the employee ID, right? I want to see the average salary in their department. What do I mean by that is, let's take this in an Excel and then I will explain it. Okay. Okay, what I want in output, I want all the columns, first of all, in my output. Right? Along with that, I want average department salary. What I mean by that, if you see for the department ID 100, what is the average salary? It is 10,000, right? You can see here. Right? Average salary for department ID 100 is what? 10,000. Are you with me? For department ID 100, the average salary is 10,000. So I want for all the department ID 100 employees, I want 10,000 to be in the output. Similarly, for department ID 200, what is the average salary for department ID 200? It is 9,500. So I want 9,500, 9,500, 9,500, and 9,500. This is how I want output. Again, for department ID 300, we have 2 employees and average salary is 7,000. So I want 7,000 here as well as 7,000 here. And for department ID 700, there is only 1 employee. So this will be average, will all be 7,000 only. Okay. Is this clear? What is the expectation from the query?
Yes, Ankit.
Okay. So what I want basically now, I want department wise average salary, right? So what if, so this is my table, right? This is my first table. Now I want the intermediate result, which gives me department ID and average salary, right? So I can get this result intermediate. So I will say I have 4 department, 100, 200, 300, and 700, right? And I will get average salary by using aggregation, simple, right? 10,000, 9,500, 7,000, 7,000. Okay. So from here to here, we can get it, right? From this table to this table, can we get it easily? This is easy, right?
Yeah, this is
It is just department ID, group by department ID, and get average salary. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it simple? Now I have this table, right? And this result also as a table. Now if I join these two back on department ID and get the salary here, will I not get this result? Think about it.
yes, yes.
I will join this table with this table on department ID. So this department ID will join with this department ID and give me 10,000 here. Right? Again, this department ID will join with this department ID again and get me 10,000. Similarly, it will give me all this. Right?
Correct.
But when we come to 200, 200 will join with this and get me 9,500. I will put it here. Right?
Right.
Everyone clear here? Very important concept I'm telling.
So these two tables are given, right? I mean, this employee ID and this department ID average, like salary, these two tables are given.
Not
Now
given.
we are-
Only this cell, only this table is given. This table
Okay.
I'm deriving from the first table.
Okay. How we have to drive it?
So I will just say on this table, I will run a query and say, select department ID, average salary from this table, group by
Okay.
department ID. So it will give me this, right?
Okay. Okay.
Let's see this in action and then we will come to Excel again. Okay. So this is my employee table, right? What I want apart from employee table, I want one more where it says select department ID, comma, average of salary as average department salary, right? From employee group by department ID. Okay. So let me run these two queries. So these are the two queries now I have run. So the first result is employee table, right? Which is just this, right? And second query is this, what we are seeing here, right? Same data. Are we good? Are we good till here? So these two
Yeah.
tables we have got from employee tables itself. Right? These are the two tables, employee table and this one where we have average salary. So now we have two tables, right? What I need to do, I just need to join these two tables on department ID and get the average salary. right? So what I will do, select star from employee, give it a alias E, right? And then inner join, I will do inner join, because why I will do inner join? Can someone tell me? Why not left join?
Only matching records we need it.
Only matching, and everything will be matching, right? Because
Yeah.
all the department IDs will be coming anyway.
Right.
See, this department ID is coming from same table itself. So
Hmm.
obviously all the department IDs coming, because I'm not putting any filter. So there's no point of using left join.
Right.
Right? Okay, sorry, my bad. So this is a subquery. Then I have to put a alias and say D, or anything I can give, right? So this is my first table again. This is my second table, and I will do join on E dot department ID equal to D dot department ID, right? And I will get E
D
dot
dot
star, comma, from
D
D
dot
what I want? I want average
average
department.
department salary.
That is it. That is it. If you understand this, then you understand the subquery. So we have got average department salary for each employee in their department. What was the average salary? This is what we derived in the Excel as well. Same result. Let's spend some 2 minutes on this query and try to understand what we have done. There is a need of intermediate results. I need the results of a query to use in my outer queries, right? I need some temporary place to store the result of a query. That's when subquery come into picture. Are we good with this query?
Yes.
Yes,
clear.
Ankit.
I'm clear.
Okay. Anyone else has any doubt? Ask now. Whenever you are in confusion now, what you have to do is don't start writing subquery. You just have to write what you need, right? So you just need from employee, and you can just, for the time being, when you are thinking about how to write, you can write what result you want, right? Just right. I want department column average salary. Just put this for the time being when you are practicing initially. You will do inner join, and then you will write a full query, and then later you can write the what you need to write a query to get this, right? Step by step you have to do initially. Once you practice few questions, you get confidence, then you can write directly. But initially you have to do step by step. Write one query, write outer query, and then use it, right? So the more you practice, it will come into your practice, and it will be easy to write queries going forward. Okay.
Okay, like, can you please explain this? Like above inner join, I mean above this, like select E star dot average department salary. This part. Okay.
Yeah. So E dot star means I am saying give me all the columns from this table. E is this, right?
Right.
So it is giving me all the columns. E dot star. When I have to take all the columns from a table, I can just use star, right?
Yeah, and then average department salary from employee table.
From D table. D is this one, right?
Right.
So if I want everything from D, I can just do D dot star. So it will give me department ID from department table as well, which is not required because department ID is already there. But I can just show you that it is again giving department ID, right? Because it is giving both the columns from this table, D. Right?
Ankit, like the subquery, like you can start it from how many things? Like where clause, from, having, any other place we can start it? Suppose-
Anywhere you can use it actually, subquery. There's no restriction.
Okay, we can start from select also.
What do you mean by from select?
No, I'm saying the clauses are there, right? You can start it from after from, or you can start it with.
I showed you, right? In the select also I showed you subquery, right? Where we were this one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right?
Ankit, can we hold the answer of subquery in a view and perform the operations?
But do you think just for running the a query you will create a view? We use a database object. It is not used for that, right? The view has other purpose, but always you can just create a view of this query and use it. But it is not a right way of using or views, right?
Got it.
You
Thank
can always create it. No one can stop you, right? You can create a view of this result, right? And then use it. No one can stop you. Yeah. But it is not meant for that.
Okay.
If you have some big query, let's say, and you want to use as a join, maybe you can create a view so that the query will look simple, right? But it will not solve any purpose as such. Okay. Now let's solve the question which we were discussing yesterday, right? And we couldn't solve it. We said, okay, we need subquery. ICC World Cup. Okay. Let me explain the question again. So we have this tournament going on and we have matches, match 1, match 2, match 3, match 4, match 5. First match is between India, Sri Lanka, India won. And then these are different matches and these are the winners, right? What we wanted is, we wanted a table, points table kind of thing, right? Where we have team name, matches played, matches won, matches lost, right? So for example, for India, how many matches India has played? This is one match and this is second match, right? So 2 matches. How many won? Both of them. 2, and loss will be 0, right? Similarly, let's say for South Africa, how many matches they played? They played only one match, right? And they lost that 0 and loss will be 1. So this points table kind of thing I want in the output from this table, right? So how do I do it? So let's see the power of subquery. What I need first of all is I need all the teams. Okay. Now my team is in team 1 also, in this column also, and in this column also. So I have 2 different columns, right? What I have to do is I have to first get all these in a different row so that I know what all teams are there, because it is possible that South Africa is here only in team 1 column. It is not available in team 2. So that if I take just team 2 column, I will miss South Africa, or I will just take team 1 column, I may miss New Zealand, right? So I need all the teams. So what I'll do, select team 1 from ICC World Cup as team name. Okay. And then I will do union all team 2, right? So I got all the teams now, right? So there are 10 rows, 5 from first query and 5 from second query. Okay. Now let me take the winner here and run this. So what I can do, so I need a flag, right? I need a flag that this team has won or not, right? To get that points table, how many matches won, how many lost, I need that flag, right? So what I can say case when team _1 equal to winner, then 1 else 0 end, right? I can say that as win flag. So if I run this again, the above query, I got the win flag, right? So India is one. So I can say, okay, India has won one match from here. Similarly, from the second column, this column also I have to do same thing. So let me do this. Right. Now I will just change it to team 2 and I will say again win flag. Okay. So I've got 0 for first one because this is coming from team 2, the second column, and 1 1 1 1. Right. All this is same. Okay. So now I have got all the team name and the win flag. Right. I don't need winner now because I have got the flag that team has won or not. So there is no need of winner. Right. So if I run this now, I have the team name and win flag, right? So this team India win this match, right? And India one more coming from here, from the second column, right? Right? Now from this table, can we drive the other table? Now tell me. The final table that we wanted, can we drive from here now? Team name, matches played, 1 lost. Tell me,
Yeah.
from this result, can we get this result?
Yes, we can just wrap it in a subquery and put outer query, like select team name first.
Right. So I will just wrap it up in a subquery. Let's say A and say select
Team name.
what? Team name, comma, what? Matches played,
Yeah, count. Only
count.
Count 1.
Yeah, as matches played, right? What else?
That won or lost, right?
Yeah, number of wins.
Then I think that case statement inside we need to sum that, right?
Right. So we have one win flag, right? If I sum it up, I will get for particular team how many matches they won. For India, so I'm doing group by on team name, right? Because for each team, I need a one row, single row. So I will get count. So when I'm doing group by on team name and I'm doing a count, so I will get 2 count for India, right? And when I do sum of win flag, I will get how many matches they won. Matches won, right? And to get number of matches lost, what I should do?
Count -1. Count 1 minus sum of win flag.
Yeah, total matches minus how many?
Right. Minus
sum of win flag.
As lost matches. Okay. It is giving me some error. All. What is that? Okay, from is not there. From. Okay, we are good now. I'll run this. All set?
Yeah.
Here we go. All good?
Yes.
Any confusion? So there were total 5 wins. If you sum this up, there are 5 wins because there were 5 matches and there were 5 losses. So if you sum that up, it will be 5. So this is the power of subquery. You can hold the result and use it. So in this case, this is our inner query. So see, in inner query, we used union also now. And it is important that you use union all here, not union, because union will remove duplicates and you might lose some matches, right? Why you don't have to remove duplicate, right? So you have to use union all. Just look at this query and let me know if you have any kind of doubts here.
Sandeep, can you please let me know one more time why we use count 1 here?
Count 1. So we want total number of matches played, right?
Yes.
So count 1 or count star, we can use anything.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Sandeep. I just confused about it.
Ankit here, not Sandeep.
Thanks, Ankit.
Are we good?
Yes.
Great. Let me touch base upon CT here. Okay, we will discuss in detail more tomorrow, but let me show you what is CT little bit. Okay, CTs are common table expression. Okay, so let's take this one only, this query itself. Okay, so this I have done it using subquery. Now I will solve the same question using CT. Okay, and just see, this only a little difference. Subqueries and CTs are very similar. Okay, so how CT we have to write? We have to write with. Okay, and we have to give it some name. So we are giving an alias to the subquery here, right? Similarly, I have to give a name here. For this example, I'm giving A only so that we can compare. But A is not a good name to give it to a CT. We can give a better name. But just to compare as it is, I'm just giving with A as, and then I can write my query here. Okay. What I will do, I will just take this query from here, the subquery, cut it, and paste it here. Okay. What I'm saying with A as. Okay. Now again, what is A? A is a table which is the result of this query. Similar to the subquery, exactly same. It is just I'm writing in a different way. I have created a with clause with A as. I'm saying create a table A, a virtual table or temporary table, whatever you call it, as this. Okay. And then you say select whatever from A. That's it. So this is a full one query. You cannot run with clause independently. If you run this wouldn't work. It will give you error. Because it is expecting a final select. This is just a CT. There is no final query. This is my final query. And in this query, I can use this A. And I need to run this all together. What will happen? Your query will always start from this main query. So when it goes to A, it will go to the from clause, right? And it will say it needs A. And then it will check, okay, A is there as a CT and will get this result and run the whole query. So this is again giving me same result. What are the advantage of using it? We will come to it later, but let's understand how to use it. Okay, let's convert one more query which we wrote above using CT. So this was the one where we found average department salary for each employee. Right? Let's write this again with the CT. Okay. So again, this is my subquery here. So I will write with D. Here we have D. I will give it as name D only for now. As, and then I have to put my subquery here, right? I'll just take it from here. Relax. Okay, so this is my CT now. The name is D. Okay, and now I will say select from E inner join D. My alias name is D, or let's make it some proper alias DP. Let me put DP D. Okay. So what I'm saying, get this DEP. This DEP is a CT common table expression, which is nothing but the result of this query. Then join employee table with DEP. Right? It is exactly same. Instead of writing our subquery here, I just move that to here, right? And I will run this. We have got the same result.
Ankit, any difference will be there on in terms of performance?
Yeah, we will come to it. We will discuss a lot of other things. Then we will discuss about performance. But let's understand now how to use it. Okay. I'll show you a few more things. Then we will talk about performance maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, Ankit, that is the performance we can discuss, but the structure-wise, is there any change? Because when you wrap it up in a subquery and you're giving an alias name, that is also creating a temp table. Here also with the with clause also it is
Right.
creating a temp table. Right? So
Right.
structure-wise both are same, right?
Right. Structure-wise, both are same. It is just a way of writing is different.
Okay.
I will show you one advantage of using CT. Someone was asking something. Yeah.
Yeah. So for from execution point of view, also the order would be same. Like
Order will be same, right? So first it will go to from, then it will go to inner join, then it will say DEP. If subquery would have been there, it would have a subquery. It will say, okay, this is a CT. It will go to CT, get you the result, and join it. So it is same thing. Order of execution will not change. Okay. Any doubts here? Okay.
One question, Ankit. Like nested subquery, can we do nested CT also?
Yes.
Okay.
We can do it. So you want to write with clause here again? Yeah, we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it don't make queries so complex. We can write multiple with clauses. Basically what we can do. So this is CT first CT, right? And we can write as many as we want. So what I can do, comma, just for example, I'm telling, let's say I want total salary as well. Okay. So I will say total salary as
Oh,
select
okay.
sum of salary as total salary from employee, right? So this is now another query, and again I can use it in anywhere here, inner join, where condition, wherever I want to use, just like subqueries. So I have two CTs now, and in fact in this CT I can use the previous CT as well. So I can just say give me sum of salary from
DEP.
DEP, and DEP I have average department salary, so I have to give average department salary. But you cannot use this CT here because it is in the order.
Okay.
So DEP you can use here, which is fine.
Okay.
Okay, and you can write as many as you want. There is no limitation. You can write one more CT here. So first advantage of CT is queries look more structured, right? So if you look at the subquery, sometimes when there are multiple subqueries, right? It is difficult to go through the query, what is happening, what is running first, what is not running first. Here it is easy. You are starting your query, right? It is more structured in this way. This is my DEP. I can just look at DEP. Okay, this is my DEP. Again, what is my total salary? This is my total salary. So if you look at subqueries, it is like select. Under that, we have one more select, right? And in that also, we can have, let's say, query A. Query 1, within that we have query 2, right? This is how it will look, and we have this outer query 0, let's say, right? But if we write CT, I can write like that, query 2, query 1, query 2, or maybe 2, 1, and final query, right? So it looks more structured. When you are writing long queries where we have multiple subqueries, CT will look good. Readability will be good. You can just read it step by step, right? So that is one important thing about CT, and mostly, at least I use CT always instead of subqueries, because it looks very simple. When after some time you are going through the query or someone else is going through your query, it is easy to read the query from top to bottom, and you can just see what is D and E. You don't have to go to nested queries and lot of those things, right? So it makes queries simpler to look, at least. Okay. Another advantage I will show you now. So let's take this query. So if you look at this query carefully, right, there is something we are doing 2 times. Here, I need to get the order-wise total order sales order-wise, right? So here I am getting for each order what is the order sales. And the same query I am running here also, right? Order-wise order sales. Same query I am running. So now if I have to convert this in CT, I don't have to write it 2 times, right? So I will say with order sales as or order wise sales as, let's take this one. Right? So I am saying order wise sales as this, right? And this is my order sales, and here also I will make it as order sales only. So now what I will do, I will just replace it with order wise sales, this full, right? Here also I will just replace it with order wise sales. You see, I don't have to write this query 2 times now. Is it not making query simpler now?
Yes, that's correct.
This same thing I had to do 2 times when I was using some subquery. Now, because this is a CTE, common table expression, that's why it is called CTE, common table expression. This can be used multiple times. It is a common table expression. You can use it multiple times within your query, the same expression. And in this way, the performance also will be better, because there it had to run that query 2 times, because it doesn't know that query and this query is the same. But now, because we have put it in a CTE and we are using it both the places, it becomes easy for the database to just hold it for the one time and use it both the places. And query is also looking simpler. Now, what else we can do here? This also we can put it in a different CT, right? So I will say with this as this and B, this is our B. So I'll just keep it as B as B as this one. Right? And now you see which query looked simpler, the previous one or this one. Right? This becomes so simple. Right? You are joining order wise sales A, which is this, with B, which is this, and just joining and putting a where condition. Is it clear or is it confusing?
This is clear to me.
Anyone else? Do you guys see the advantage of using CT here?
Yes, Ankit.
Yes, Ankit. Yep.
right? The most beautiful advantage is we can refer to the same CT multiple times in our query. In fact, we can refer to this CT in our next CT as well. And that is why they are common table expressions.
CT is better than subquery.
At least look wise. Otherwise, also performance wise, also to be honest, there is no difference as such. If you are writing exactly same, no performance difference much. But in these kind of scenarios where you are referring it more than one time, then definitely CTS will be faster. Right? So here you are referring order wise sales 2 times, right?
Yeah.
So it will be much faster. So order wise sales, and we are using this order wise sales in B.
Now, Ankit, one question like why will you subquery? Then any specific scenario where CT will not work? Because every scenario CT can be better,
Right. In every scenario, CT can work, and you can always, make a practice of writing using CT. But that is okay. You should practice with subquery as well for now.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever you can do with subquery can be done with CT. So let's take the example of where condition, right? Where is our where condition? It is just this one, right? This one. Let's take this and convert it to CT. So now these kind of queries are simple subquery. Why you want to create a CT of it, right? Unnecessary. Let's say I have to run just this one. Okay. Now for this one, creating a CT is not a good idea. I mean, it is a simple query. You can just use subquery. In CT, what I have to do? With departments as right. Select star from employee where department ID in or not in whatever. Then you have to write again same thing. Select department ID from DAPTS, right? So it doesn't make sense to make CT here, right? Isn't it? Does it make sense to make a CT here?
No, that's correct.
No.
I can just use DAPT. So sometimes you have to just think about it, right? If it is simpler thing, why to make it complicated?
Yes.
Right? I think a lot of things for today. I know it will take time to digest. So we will stop here, but let me know if you have any doubts.
CT thing, can you please explain, like maybe in the like upcoming doubt class ones?
Okay, but subquery you understand, right?
Yeah. Subquery got it for a CT. I mean, you can explain it maybe in upcoming doubt class ones.
Okay, but again, it is simple. So this is the subquery, right? Here.
Right.
What is the subquery here? This A. A is a subquery here.
Right.
And on top of this is my outer query and this is my inner query. Now, what I have done here, the inner query, the subquery, I am just using as a CT.
Okay.
So I'm saying with A as, and I'm giving the same query here again within the brackets. Right? And in my final select, I'm using this A. So instead of writing my full query in the from, I just move it to the with clause and using it here now. That is the only difference between CT and subquery.
Rest all things will be remain same.
Same, exactly same.
Okay.
Ankit, in the last query, can you explain, sequence of operations?
Which one?
Where we used multiple CTs in the same query.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So always it will start from the main query, right? It will not start. So for example, if I'm creating C here, C something. Okay. Select star from employee, let's say. something I'm putting. Employee, is there any problem? Let's say orders for now. Okay. Why it is giving me error?
As
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, my bad. Okay, let's say I'm creating C here, but I'm not using C anywhere in my query, right? So database will not execute this at all because this is not required to get my result. My result is coming from this query ultimately, right? And there's no C mentioned, so C will not run at all. C is like unnecessary here. Database will just ignore this because C is not there at all in my final query, nor it is used in any other CT, right? Which means my main query will start execution. So obviously it will go to from order wise sales. It will go to order wise sales, right? So this is the first thing from. So it will execute this one, right? So it needs this query, right? Then it will go to inner join B. Now it will go to B and get this. Now when doing B, it already knows whatever order wise sales is, right? So it will use that in this and do inner join. And once inner join is done, then where clause and then select.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you guys understand why I have done 1 equal to 1 here? No one asked this question.
Yeah, you told once, right? I mean, we can do it actually.
It's always equal.
ID is equal to I mean, if we have the same ID, we can do it, or maybe we can do
Actually,
like 100 is equal to 100 also.
It is giving true.
Yeah.
True results.
It is giving true. So what is happening? Generally, if I do this, there will be cross join. But because there's always only one row from the table B, right? So there is no cross join happening, right? So I'm getting average of something overall. There is no group by, you see. So it will return only one row always. So what I'm joining order wise sales. So basically order ID and total sales of this. So 100 order ID, let's say this is 500, order ID 200, 600, right? And another, this is average order value. So this will be something like 200. This will be just one value. So if I have to join, average order value in this case will be 550. Okay. So I have to join these two tables somehow. I can do just 1 equal to 1. So this row will join with this. It is always a true condition. So both rows will be joined with this row. And there is no cross join happening. For example, if the result of this query has two rows, let's say 550, 650, and if I give 1 equal to 1, then what will happen? This row will join with this as well as this. This one will join with this as well as this. So we will have 4 rows. But in this case, since we have only one row, so it will be 2 rows only in the output. Okay. Are we clear here? Why we have given 1 equal to 1? Because I just want this to come along in these rows so that I can do this comparison, right? So that I can do this comparison. This order sales is greater than average order value. Order sales is greater than average order value. So this row will qualify. Right. So that's why I have done inner join on B. B has only one row, so there is no issue doing 1 equal to 1. We are not increasing number of rows. Number of rows will be equal to whatever number of rows are there in A, which is basically number of orders. Are we good?
yes, Ankit.
Like I have sent you one question and just wanted to ask you, can we do it with subquery? So this
check.
question is of the like a joins of the day 5th.
write a query to get category wise sales of order that were not returned. Yeah, we can do using subquery. Yes.
Yeah, because I've tried it like doing it with a different way, but I couldn't find it because although we have a return table, we don't have the not return table. So I think
So not return you will have to do left join, and I have explained that if you have watched the videos recordings, you can achieve this using left join as well as subquery.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Geetika is asking what can we write other than 1 equal to 1. So other than 1 equal to 1, the another option is you can just say sales A, comma B. And you don't have to give this condition, that will also work. This will also work. So by default, if we don't give any condition, every row of this table will try to join with every row of this table. Or if I do equal to 1 also on 1 equal to 1, then also every row of this table is trying to join with every row of this table. Because there is only one row in this table, there is no problem. We will have number of records same as we have in A. Right? B is a average value of something. Right? So it will always be one row. The result of B will always be one row. Are we good, Geetika? Okay, cool. Okay, guys, I think time is up. So we have a weekend now. You have all the time, right? So I'm not sure if you are able to solve all the 10 questions that I gave yesterday. Were you guys able to sign up on Data Lemur?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you can just start practicing those questions, that 10 I gave, and I will send you more today, which will require subqueries and CTs also. Okay, so this weekend is crucial. You have to spend, first of all, understand all this, how subquery works, right? At least subquery. CT, we will discuss more questions, but subquery you should be able to understand now how we have used. I have discussed all the main scenarios, how we can use the subquery. Okay, so make sure you understand this. You solve these questions again yourself without looking at my solution, right? You can go through the notes once and just solve the questions yourself again using subqueries, and then you can solve these questions using CT as well. Okay, and then you will have more questions. I will put some more links of Data Lemur where we can use subqueries and CT, and you have to practice this weekend. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Ankit.
Thank you,
Have a
Ankit.
good day. Bye bye.
Thank you.